Kids these days, they're always on that phone. And you know, that's what's wrong with this generation. I mean, think about it. Stagnant wages? Because they're always on that phone. Housing crisis? Always on that phone. Global warming? On that phone. And look, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm starting to think that smartphones are actually making us less connected.
They are!
Well, that's politics for you.
It is!
Obviously, I'm joking, right, for the most part. It's very easy to do that thing where you pretend that you hate the internet or that we'd all be better off without it, even though you're giving that take on the internet. And if you're around my age or maybe a little older, you might have already let a couple kids these days slip. If either of those sound like you, normally I'd point to all the good the internet has done for humanity, or the fact that every generation since the beginning of human history has resented the generation after them. And the fact that nothing kids these days are doing is really that outlandish. But I've been out there on the internet, okay? And I think the younger generation is picking up a couple toxic traits from the influencers that have kind of had the run of the place for the last couple years. See, I was just minding my business, scrolling through Instagram during a Madden loading screen when I had this child reprimand me for playing video games. So now I'm here, I'm flipping the switch, and we're gonna talk about the hustle culture children that I've come across the past couple weeks. And I'm not gonna show their names because I hope and pray that this is not who they're going to be the rest of their lives. And so I wanna just give them a chance to be able to erase that from the internet if they want. But also, I'm not gonna shy away from showing their content because they have more followers than I do on their own accounts. So clearly they don't mind having their image out there. Let's revisit the first few seconds of that video. First of all kids are broke, okay? That's normal. I wouldn't walk up to a newborn and be like, yo, get a job, loser. Like, we have fidget spinners to drop ship. In fact, the only work I did when I was younger was delivering poker chips for this guy. Speaking of video games, he says he thought, well, technically he says though, but we'll let that slide. But anyways, he says that he thought that playing video games was normal. It is, I'm sorry to say. Like, it's not something that's weird or abnormal to do. If it's not normal, then maybe my mind is just a little bit dark and twisted because anytime I get a spare moment, I will hop on the PS5 just to chill out. Anyway, when he flips the switch, he starts learning about something called SMMA. Maybe we should start by learning about that too because I have no idea what that is. Yikes. It's a social media marketing agency. No wonder my videos aren't blowing up if I don't have any clue what that acronym stands for. But hey, he's got a decent following, so maybe he's in a good position to give people advice on how to grow their personal brand online. Although his online presence does seem to be entirely dedicated to growing his online presence, sort of like the chicken and the egg thing. Is he really good at marketing brands, or is he really good at selling you this dream of having a lot of money? But the biggest problem I have with these videos, because this is a theme that I see in a lot of them, the fact that he says goodbye to all of his friends. First of all, a lot of them talk about how their friends are like out drinking and partying.
It's Friday night, all my friends are partying, out having fun, out getting some drinks, and I'm just here working my new businesses.
You're 13, that like nobody's drinking unless it's, I don't know, Sunny D or something like that. But like even without making up cooler things that you could be doing, you should be hanging out with your friends. It's a fun and normal thing for you to do. We're social creatures. It's good for us to be in community with others. And that's not just a philosophical statement that I believe personally, right? This is backed by published research. According to a meta-analysis, which was co-authored by Julianne Holt-Lunstad, PhD. Meta-analysis, by the way, is basically just like a Vine compilation for research papers. Lack of social connection heightens health risks as much as smoking 15 cigarettes a day, or about the same as having an alcohol use disorder. Dr. Holt-Lunstad has also found that loneliness and social isolation are twice as harmful to physical and mental health as obesity. Not only that, but according to another study, the experience of loneliness seems to be associated with an increase in aggressive behavioral tendencies or a lack of their inhibition. Basically, people go wild whenever they're separated from others. It can also make these individuals vulnerable to extremist ideologies. So it's definitely not a lifestyle that you should pursue, and it's certainly not one that you should advocate for online. We'll come back to finish this video a little bit later, but now that I've spent so many times rewatching this video with my jaw on the floor, Instagram decided that this is apparently something I'm into, which, by the way, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whoever's listening, I know you all are, Can I get like an irony setting whenever I'm scrolling through my feed? Can I get like a just kidding mode so that whenever I go and look at somebody's posts about, I don't know, being a child financial influencer, you don't think that that's what I'm into as a person? Sometimes I just want to see what's going on over there. I don't need to be all up in it for the rest of my life, okay? Thanks. But anyways, Instagram doesn't have that feature yet, so they started showing me more of these financial influencer kids. I came across this one next, and I think his storytelling is funnier than the first kid's. I don't think it's intentional, but it is very good. He starts off by saying he realizes that school wasn't for him. I think we've all had a moment where we're like, you know what? I am not going back there. Today's the day. School sucks. I'm not going anymore. But whatever, we've all been there. He says he tries YouTube, and it didn't really work out. I mean, the kid is 10 years younger than I am. I don't know if it ever really doesn't work out, right? Like, you can keep trying. It's not like he has a job. Not like his overhead is crazy. I wouldn't say that it's over right away. But hey, he went viral on TikTok. Maybe he found that more appealing. Even though he did go viral though, he says he's still depressed. There's some people in the comments saying, oh, you can't be depressed at this age. You can. I'm not gonna downplay that part of it. And like, I get what he's going for, right? Like, those things didn't make him happy. The next thing he says is like, I figured out like I needed to change. But not only is that like the main message of the video, it is my favorite part of it by far, because he says, you know, I tried all these things and I kept looking for the thing that was gonna make me happy. And I realized finally, I have to change. Still didn't though.
Bruh.
Like, I've battled adversity from the time I was wearing Roblox shirts through like middle adolescence all the way until I finally found fame on TikTok, and I realized that even reaching the summit of that mountain, nothing outside of myself was gonna make me happy. So what did I do about that? Nothing. I couldn't really be bothered. I think it's pretty funny. I don't know if he meant it to be that way. If he did mean it as a joke, that's great. If not, probably just skip to the part where you do make a change. But it's more of the same after that little gem in the middle. Just start hitting the gym, which is also like super interwoven with this side of the internet. I don't really understand why. I guess it's all about bettering yourself in a way that makes you more appealing to others. But hitting the gym, starting an SMMA, there's a failed dropshipping business thrown in there. He found a lot, that's good. Now this next guy, he hits a lot of the same talking points, but he's just a lot more angry and a lot more aggressive than the other kids we've seen so far.
Like all these kids in high school, congrats, you got an A in physics. You get to know the velocity of a car that's going 50 miles an hour is. Like, who cares? Oh wait, nobody. Follow me for more tips like this. Most people say you have to go to school to be successful. It's actually not true. 88% of self-made millionaires have their own business. You're not gonna get your own business by studying calculus. You're gonna get your own business by grinding and making calls. Follow me for more.
Look, he's clearly just parroting entrepreneur propaganda, and I don't fault him for that, but I just want to address it, just in case, on the off chance that this kid is watching and he isn't too far gone to see a reason. Look, man, I work in biotech, but you can see problems with these statements in basically every industry. People on the business side, or the people making calls, as you call them, who don't understand the product that they're selling or the service that they're providing, often make promises that the research and development teams can't keep. So yes, as the world sits today, if you have the gift of the gab, if you can talk a big game and secure some capital, you can hire people who studied physics, biochemistry, computer science, I don't know, whatever you want to throw in there, to try and turn your half-baked idea into something that you can sell. And you can inflate the value of that company by making outlandish promises pretty easily. I mean, just ask Elon, he does it all the time. But at the end of the day, you're still going to be hoping upon hope that your scientists, engineers, programmers, whatever, can pull together a miracle that'll make you a little bit less of a liar. And if all of us took this advice and just started making phone calls, we'd have nothing to sell or buy or advertise or market, because it takes an educated workforce to produce useful products. And I don't fault these guys for falling for these traps. I can understand the appeal. I mean, these kids literally are the target audience of all of these horrible finance influencers who are hell-bent on convincing you that you're a failure if you don't have a Lamborghini by the age of 25. And even though it seems bad, I know that there's still hope for these kids to have a happy and fulfilling life to where they can feel like they have enough. You can tell because they don't even fully grasp what it is they're doing yet. The first kid I showed you posted a video talking about how he feels conflicted whenever people ask him what he wants to be when he grows up. This is what he had to say.
Whenever you're running a business under 18 and somebody asks you, what do you want to be when you grow up? What am I supposed to answer? I was asked this question today and I was kind of stuck because nowadays being an entrepreneur sounds weird and skeptical.
And he's so clearly confused by that question because he doesn't have the instinct to lie about what it is he does to make it sound more important. He still has that innocence to say, I don't actually know what exactly this is.
Whenever you work, you're given this title on what you do. And I don't really know what mine's going to be running a business and my personal brand. And that's kind of freaking me out. I have this crippling fear that it's not going to be easy to understand who I am and what I actually want to do with my life when I'm getting older. And that's kind of worrying me.
And he hasn't gotten into that stage where he's going to just drop buzzwords on people to try and make himself seem important. He even knows that entrepreneur is a dirty word. And the cognitive dissonance between what his idols are telling him to do and what the world thinks about his idols is very clear to me. Speaking of idols, they're all over these posts. They're in the comments saying that this is the right mindset to have, and anyone who's telling them to, I don't know, go play outside or like hang out with their friends is just hating. And ooh, it's so infuriating to see them just loving that they're creating future clones of themselves. Drives me up the wall. This one in particular can be found underneath a post in which the kid that we've been talking about makes a list of 10 rules he's going to follow for a year, one of which is having no fun.
I'm a failure. Just listen. I've been waking up super late. I've barely been working every single day. My mind has been thinking things I'm too ashamed to say. And I've been telling myself that it's okay. That it's okay to take a break. That it's okay to have a bit of fun. Next up is no fun, no going out, no nothing.
And I say idols because in the first video we looked at, he shouts out 2 specific people that he refers to as his idols. I went and checked out their pages and, you know, it's the usual nonsense that you'd expect. Ridiculously lavish lifestyles and vague descriptions of how you can get money just like them. I mean, this guy, Moritz Neo, in the video, his name is Moritz Tate, but I guess things with the Tate brothers got too dicey even for him. Claims to be the founder of the #1 community for young entrepreneurs. Now that's his online persona that he's presenting to the world. According to Crunchbase, which I guess is like a database that catalogs private companies and individuals who are important in financial sectors, this guy's real name is Maurits Balbergen, pardon my Dutch, and he hails from South Africa. A Dutch guy from South Africa. I would tone down the display of wealth if I were you, but do you. Now he claims to have started his entrepreneurial career at the age of 12. I don't know who's buying anything from a 12-year-old unless it's lemonade, and even then, I'm just stealing one as I ride my bike by, loser. But it's also known that he comes from a wealthy family and is part of a wealthy friend group. Trying to figure out how they could be so wealthy, but I don't know. A part of it is just hiding in my mind right now. I can't really put my finger on it, but I'm sure I'll find it. His family's estimated net worth is about $4 million. And of course, to get some extra cash on the side for himself so he can call himself an entrepreneur, he apparently at one time or another was selling a course on online sales. Although when I click on this link to Young Wealth Club, nothing comes up. Strange how that works. Weird he wouldn't want to keep that up. Oh, and look at that. He's got a picture with Luke Belmar. Maybe we'll talk about that guy in another video here soon. Haven't decided yet, but weird circle of friends to have. The other guy he mentions, Renzo Guevara, does that thing where he asks you to type a word in the comments to get access to a free course, purely just to like boost his engagement. Every time someone types in the word that he's programmed some bot to recognize, he responds with a comment telling them to go check their DMs for the course.
And no, not some guru trying to sell you a course on how to make money online so you can work from your bed, but I did just make a free course breaking out exactly how I made $2 million profit with my agency. Now you can do it too or hit 10K a month if you want. Just comment below the word cash and I'll send it to you for free.
All these guys are just putting on smoke and mirrors shows to try and convince people that they have a lot of money and that they can help you get a lot of money too. And when they do that, the original entrepreneur will actually make some money from that, whether it's just through engagement on social media or people actually paying for a course. And now it's just on the new group of influencers that you've created to find people who will believe that they're wealthy or that they know how to make money too. It's why all these younger guys have groups of their own. That's just what they've been taught to do. And during these motivational videos that they're posting, you'll see them talking to someone on a video call. These are either just straight up fake shots to like a blank computer screen, or they're on calls with people their age or younger. Because what business or fully grown influencer is approaching a 13-year-old on how to market their brand? I don't know. It all just seems so icky to me that all these kids are getting wrapped up in this cycle of subscribing to one guy's SMMA strategy course just so they can pitch it to the people who are below them on the ladder. Who knows? Maybe by some miracle, all of these child influencers are actually making money from legitimate businesses and independent clients. But I just don't see how that could be the case because again, I don't know if anyone who has a lot of money invested in a company is going to spend their marketing budget with a 13-year-old. One last time, to the guys who find this lifestyle and this approach to getting rich quick appealing, it's probably not going to work out for you the way you think it is, the way that people online will tell you it is. Unless you have money already or you genuinely have a world-changing idea, it's very unlikely that you're going to achieve the amount of wealth that you're seeing these people flaunt. And certainly, no one is going to be able to get you there through a course that thousands of other people are taking. Don't lose your childhood to this futile chase for a business that adds nothing of value to the world. But that's all for me this week. If you're as depressed as I am about this trend, leave a comment, drop a like, and subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to become the most subscribed to Aaron Trevino on this website, so please join the cause and subscribe below. Also, check out Aaron and Ellie on Kirby Drive, a podcast that my wife and I do every week where we cover the top news in sports in a way that even the most casual fan can understand. Finally, stream my brother's latest single, Glad, available wherever you get your music. I think I'm finally done plugging stuff. I mean, wow, I feel like a real entrepreneur now. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.